Hi, my name is Devaraj. Welcome back to Bioenergetics. And today we're going to talk about taking responsibility, about shouldering a burden. Because in therapy, of course, often we're trying to get people to take responsibility, to not blame something on the outside and to really take it on. That it's down to us. We have to feel what's going on and move forwards in life. But there's also the negative side. Nothing's quite as simple as it seems sometimes. You can't make a written kind of formula just that works for life generally. And so with responsibility, of course, it can be that you take too much responsibility, that you're the one that is always there for people, that is looking after others, that is staying late at work when you really shouldn't, you don't need to, when it's not serving you, when it's not giving you a good feeling, and maybe tiring you out excessively. And one of the ways that psychologically these kind of situations can get set up is that in childhood, instead of being able to just play for a certain number of years as a kid, to just have freedom and just be a little kid, the circumstances of our early life meant that we had to take responsibility a bit early. Maybe we had to look after another sibling, a younger sibling, a brother or a sister. Maybe we have to even look after one of our parents. Maybe we had to look after the shop or whatever it was, or something where we felt that we had to jump into the space, or we were pushed into a space before we were ready. Hopefully you get the kind of thing I'm talking about. And in terms of the body, energetically, where it manifests is here, on the shoulders, around the neck, particularly around here, the shoulder blades and the bottom of the neck. Often people get quite a knot here. Hopefully you can see that. And that's a lot of taking responsibility in a bad way, in an unconscious way, when you don't actually need to really take something on, but still you feel from an old program running in your brain, you're going to take it on. And so you just do it. And so this, you can go to psychotherapy, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you can track down the roots of this kind of behavior where you somewhere started to just do too much, take too much on, or always be there for someone, even when it doesn't really serve anybody. But also you can just work with it in the body energetically, and that's what we're going to look at today. So, something's come onto my screen, it's annoying. Okay, so we're going to look with the shoulders basically, because moving the shoulders in a circular motion can start to really liberate this area of the body here between the shoulder blades, where a lot is held and where we just tend to overdo it and tend to just feel like there's a big burden we've got to carry around all the time. So how it goes is you start by bringing your shoulders to the front and then up and round and down like this in a kind of massaging motion. And because this is bioenergetics, what's very important is that you really breathe and engage with the feelings in your body. You can start off gently, but then after a minute or so really start to breathe and have the intention to really feel how it feels to grind your shoulders round in this circular motion together. Keep going the same way for about 5 minutes. The easiest way to do this is to find a piece of music from your music collection and just put it on repeat. When it gets to 5 minutes, then you've done enough of it. So after 5 minutes you can stop and you go back round the other way, to the back and up, over the shoulders. And back around, and within this time you'll feel it start to really graunch into something. Maybe you get a bit of a burning sensation between your shoulder blades, or an aching sensation there. That is actually good. That is a sign that something is moving, that the holding patterns, and there are a lot of holding patterns in most people in this area, are starting to shift. So you really stick with it, and very important, breathe as deep as you can. Do not shallow breathe. Do not sit there doing it like this, just trolling along and thinking about something else. That disconnects you from there. You need to really breathe and really engage with yourself, really engage with the feeling of your body. Stay present in your body, engaged and feeling. So you go around for another 5 minutes, and when that 5 minutes ends, you go the first way again. And this time you start to really, as you come down, shake, like push something off. I don't know if I can get up a bit higher here, and kind of, I'm really pushing my arms down as they come back. I'm breathing to match, so that I'm breathing out as I go down. Ha, 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 ha. And the feeling often is a bit like being a teenager, like being 14 years old or something like that, and just shaking off all this kind of parental crap that you've had put on you. And you can, even if you're in a space where you can make sound, make a bit of sound, and, you know, complain about your mum and dad and act like a 14-year-old, just shaking off all their boring stuff that they've put on you, and let yourself be a little teenager for 10-15 minutes. So that goes round for another 5 minutes, and then final 5 minutes back the other way. And again, if you feel to, keep on shaking down, really like you're trying to shake something out of your arms. So that will be about 20 minutes or so. If you can't afford that level of time, you don't have that much time, you can do it for 3 minutes each way, or you can just do it twice instead of around 4 times. And then to close this exercise, what you're going to do is bring your arms up. Maybe you have to stand a little further back. You bring your arms up, your knees are a little bit bent. You bring your arms up, and it's a bit like you're bashing something against the floor. Like you've got a big towel with a knot in it, and you're banging it down. What's important is that you bring your arms right up and right back, because that stretches again the same part of between the shoulder blades here. And then really having a breathe out, release, let go. This feeling of really throwing something off. Energetically, you're throwing off tension from here, and psychologically, that's a burden that you're carrying around. The feeling that you have to really do it for someone else or whatever. It's a psychological burden. A lot of people in the UK carrying around that stuff. If after all of that, say you've done about 20-25 minutes now, and it feels like quite a lot has been stirred up, to ground the whole thing, you can do the bow and the arch exercise, which is at the beginning of this series, which is essentially leaning forwards and then coming back up into this position for 3 or 4 minutes each way round. Okay, so thank you very much for that. I hope that exercise is beneficial to you, and speak to you again later. Bye for now.